Hi guys, welcome back to Shadow Work by April. I'm April. I'm a shadow work coach. So today I want to talk about how trauma can manifest in our lives. This is really important for people to understand because it can give you a clear idea of what to expect as a result of doing shadow work. Shadow work can remove all of these things that I'm going to be talking about from your life, allowing you to step into who you're supposed to be, allowing you to love yourself, allowing you to love your life. So I'm just going to dive right in. These are things that most of you will probably relate to, one or two, or maybe even all of these things. But just keep in mind as I'm going through this list that these are things that can be healed as you do this work. So there is a freaking light at the end of the tunnel here. All right, so number one, self-sabotage. This can manifest itself in many forms. Procrastination is one. Seeking unavailable partners is another one that I see often in my practice. We often subconsciously don't want to settle, or we think that we're not worthy of settling. So we will chase people who are unavailable. Someone who is in a relationship, somebody who is not emotionally available. You catch my drift here. Someone that we know that we can't have all the way. And we do this to avoid being rejected. You know, you can't get rejected from somebody who's not available. All right, next, engaging in risky behaviors. This is a very common thing that I see, that I've been through. We tend to do things that sabotage our own success. There's lots of reasons why we do this. One of them being we want to appear irresponsible, so nobody entrusts us with any responsibility, because that way we cannot fail. We can't let anybody down. Doing things that you know will hold you back from reaching your potential. You can't fail at anything if you set your life up in such a way that you don't have anything. All right, next, poor boundaries. This is huge. This is huge. This is huge. Every client that I meet with, every person that I talk to about that inquires about shadow work has poor boundaries. So this can mean that you are taking too much responsibility for other people and their emotions. On the flip side, this can mean that you are giving other people too much responsibility for yours. Oftentimes we'll see these two different spectrum of people. You have the one who wants to take responsibility for other people's emotions, and you have the other one who wants to give other people responsibility for theirs, and they will come together and form a codependent relationship. Codependent relationships are a huge block in growth. When you have somebody who is actively feeding into your shadow and you're feeding into yours, it can be very hard to see a clear picture of what your shadow is. So if you find yourself in a codependent relationship, as you begin to set boundaries, your partner is going to be completely thrown off, and they're probably going to throw a huge fit, but you have to do it. You have to start setting boundaries in order to start healing. So also, when you have poor boundaries, you'll see often that you have very dramatic, explosive relationships. If you have poor boundaries, your partner does too. That's just the way it's going to work. Somebody with healthy boundaries isn't going to be in a relationship with somebody who has poor boundaries. That's why these relationships are so freaking rocky, because you have two people that are constantly crossing each other's lines, constantly taking advantage of each other. So you're afraid to let people down. You spend so much time caring for others that you don't even have a good sense of who you are. This is so common for mothers. Society expects us to basically forfeit our identity once we become wives and mothers. I bring this up because I just want everybody to be aware. I talk a lot about childhood trauma. It's not only your caregivers that gave you these emotional, traumatic, energetic wounds that you have. Society does this too. Society does this relentlessly, absolutely relentlessly, trying to manipulate us into doing what they want. So if you are doing cord cutting, cut that cord related to mothers giving up their identity. It's very helpful. So if you feel responsible for others not being happy, you are going to be drained all the time. Spending all your energy on others leaves nothing left for you. You are going to be energetically drained. Also, when you have poor boundaries, you are going to be resentful. If you've become accustomed to being overlooked all the time, or accepting blame that doesn't belong to you, accepting guilt that doesn't belong to you, you're going to find something that looks kind of like this. Either you are openly resentful and you're mean to other people, or you're super bright and cheery and nice all the time, and you're always smiling and you're always ready to help, but your internal dialogue is a straight shit talker. And you don't actually like the people that you're around, and you are angry that they need your help while you're smiling and pretending like you're grateful for the opportunity. As resentment builds, you are going to slip into the victim mindset. The victim mindset is so damaging because once you subconsciously believe that you're a victim, you are giving your control away. You're giving your control away to other people. That is the biggest example of a poor boundary that exists. You have control over you. You have responsibility for you. If your in-laws treat you like shit all the time and you feel like you're a victim, it's your responsibility to set boundaries with them or limit contact. I could list a million examples, but I'm not going to. The bottom line is that once you slip into victim mindset, everyone around you, you'll find that you will find that you have brought in a group of people who expect you to be a victim. Anyways, next, negative self-talk. Although this one may seem self-explanatory, I cannot express how important it is that we acknowledge this and that we work on this. Everyone I talk to about shadow work, I'm like, self-awareness is number one. Self-awareness starts with getting control over this negative self-talk. So we assume, since these phrases, examples, I'm stupid, why am I like this? I'm not good enough. I'm not a good enough mother. I'm not a good enough partner. I'm not a good enough employee. I always do things wrong. I always mess things up. Whatever your specific, unique thought train is that's negative, we assume that these things are true because they have been playing in our heads for so long. We just believe them. That's wrong. That's flat out wrong. And let me tell you why. When you dive deep into shadow work, you are going to see that each and every one of these negative beliefs that you're repeating to yourself all the time, each one of them was gifted to you by somebody who held influence over you. And you've been repeating it subconsciously ever since. We believe deep down that whatever this shitty thing is that we're saying to ourselves is true. And if you've been repeating the same phrase in your head for 30 years, 20 years, however long it's been, 50 years, who knows? You have probably manifested these results. Oftentimes I see people who have really negative thought trains, who manifest mental disabilities, mental illnesses. Like if you have been telling yourself you're stupid for 10 years, you might get an ADHD diagnosis. I'm not saying that everybody is misdiagnosed. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that it can happen. You can manifest your own disabilities. You can. It's just something to look into, something to pay attention to. Okay. So anyways, somebody gave this to you at a time when you were vulnerable. It was somebody who held influence over you. Imagine it's a parent. A parent will get frustrated and say something that they shouldn't say, like, you're stupid. If you are in a vulnerable enough place, you are going to pick that up and repeat it forever. This can also come from people that are not your caregivers, like the popular kid at school. Maybe you idolized this kid and he made fun of you. And now whatever that phrase was that he said has been playing in your head ever since. Maybe it's an older sibling that you looked up to that was an asshole and said rude things to you all the time. And now they're continuously playing in your head. The point is that at some point in your life, somebody decided to implant these things into your head to make it easier for them to manipulate your behavior. I'm going to give an example of this. Say you have a kid. He is assertive and he is vocal. Say this kid lives in a dysfunctional household. Say his parents fight all the time. There might be drugs or alcohol involved. This assertive kid is pointing out all of these things all the time. This isn't right. Why is this like this? Why are you guys doing this? You're supposed to be taking care of me. Whatever. The ego of the parents is going to shut that shit down as fast as possible. And they are going to do this by convincing the child that something is wrong with them. You always backtalk. You don't have any respect. Blah, 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 whatever. And that's where the child will pick up on this negative self-talk. The parents will repeat this shit over and over and over again until they get their desired result. They need the child to be quiet because they can't handle the child picking at their egos. They can't handle it. They don't care about the long-term damage. They don't care about how detrimental to the child's mental health these statements are going to be. They just need the child to stop pointing out their failures. That's where these things come from. At some point in your life, somebody needed you to play a role so that it would protect them. Okay, next. Lack of clarity and direction. When we have spent our lives wrapped up in all these trauma responses, we spend very little energy understanding who we really are, what we want to do with our lives, and figuring out what we actually like to do. If you have been spending all of your energy since adolescence, since childhood, whatever, avoiding pain, that becomes your only hobby. I hear so often people being like, I don't know, I don't have any hobbies, I'm not good at anything. I'm not good at anything. I don't know what I like to do, or I don't like to do anything. That is a very clear red flag to me that this person has spent most of their energy avoiding pain. It takes up a lot of energy to be protecting yourself constantly. You don't have any energy to dig around and explore and figure out who you actually want to be. So, scarcity mindset is next. I am going to quote my guy, Andrew Yang. my guy. I don't actually know this person. I've never met this person. But he wrote a book called The War on Normal People. This book is free on YouTube. If you are infinitely curious like I am, and you just love picking apart society and figuring out what the hell is going on this crazy planet, read this book. It's super interesting. It reads really, really well. I love it. It's called The War on Normal People by Andrew Yang. So anyways, this is a quote from him. Scarcity causes a decline of about 13 IQ points in terms of one's ability to function on a test. It is similarly found that people who are preoccupied by scarcity have less mental bandwidth. 13 IQ points is one standard deviation. This is enough mental bandwidth to this determines whether or not you can understand a concept or not. This is a huge thing. This is huge. Scarcity mindset can, it literally causes cognitive decline. It messes with your memory. It messes with your ability to make sound, rational decisions. You can't make your best decisions when you're in the scarcity mindset. You also have a huge drop in emotional intelligence. You're more angry at people. It's harder to empathize with people. Empaths who are picking up on everybody's energies but don't know what to do with them, a lot of the times they're suffering from a scarcity mindset. Their emotional intelligence drops in these moments of stress. So they don't know how to decipher the information that their body is picking up, and they become overwhelmed, and a lot of times they're just straight up miserable. I hear it all the time. So scarcity mindset is the belief that you don't have enough or that you never will have enough. Nothing is good enough. I'm not good enough. My house isn't good enough. The car is not good enough. I need more in order to be happy. This is where gratitude comes in. This is where gratitude is really important. If you are vibrating at the frequency of scarcity, you are manifesting in more scarcity. If you can flip that mindset around to the mindset of gratitude, I am so blessed to have the house that I have. This is where I make memories with my kids. I'm a great mom and I do the best I can every day. And I'm so blessed for my opportunities to do this. I'm so lucky that I have a car. I'm so lucky that I have this. Like, I am so blessed. I have so much love in my life and so many people in my life, even though they're not perfect. I have so many this and that and this and that. If you can switch your mindset to, I don't ever have what I need, to, goddamn, I'm blessed as hell. It makes the difference. It makes a huge difference. You don't want to manifest not having what you need. Yet that's what repeating that phrase to yourself will do. If you believe that you are blessed, blessings will freaking fly in left and right. That is what manifestation is. Very important to get your scarcity mindset under control. Gratitude is how you do that. Gratitude, in my experience, is also, it has the ability to, I don't want to say like heal depression, because depression, I don't know. It can reverse the depression. It really can. Gratitude can help restore your brain's ability to produce happy chemicals. If you're looking around and you're constantly like, God, I'm so lucky. God, I can't believe how lucky I am. Every time you think that, and every time you believe that, and every time you say that, your brain gives you reward chemicals. Next, lack of self-love. I saved this one for the end because it overlaps with everything else that we've talked about here. This comes from the belief that you're not lovable, that you don't deserve something. This can look like over-loving others. You could pour so much into somebody else, and you're hoping that they will return it to you and that you'll feel whole again. But even if they do return it to you, you won't feel whole because you're not in control. When that person leaves, when that person gets sick, when that person has a bad day, when something happens to that person, all of a sudden, your love source is gone. The key here is to pour the love into yourself. This will help with low self-esteem. This will help with prioritizing your needs. Loving yourself is so important. Putting yourself first is so important. It really is. It's key. Self-love is key. So anyways, all of these things are your subconscious way of trying to keep you safe and protected. Now, think of them as plates of armor. Most of these plates of armor were put in place when you were young, when you were at the mercy of your caregivers, and you did not have the power and knowledge and resources to meet your own physical needs. However, now you are free. You are free to let these things go. You are the one who's in a place of power now. You may not think you are. That's that scarcity mindset. That's that victim mindset. But you are an adult now. You have the ability to make choices. You have the ability to live up to your potential. You can safely release these things and watch your entire life transform. They can all be healed. They can. I don't even want to say that you can take back your life, because a lot of us don't have anything to actually compare that to, because we've been running these cycles for so long. We have no idea what empowerment looks like. So with shadow work, you can absolutely take back the power you were born with. You can discover who you truly are. You can step in to your authentic self. You can be confident. You can love your life. You can love yourself. You can gain control of your empathetic gifts and your other gifts. A lot of people, once they start removing their shadows and healing their shadows and getting their energy field all cleared out and in optimal condition, new gifts come in. New gifts. I am one of those people that believes that every single person on the planet has gifts. I think everybody does. I think that if we all did enough work, we could all access the same information that healers can, and mediums can, and psychics can. I've seen this. That's why I believe it. You can step out of being a drained empath that has to hide from people, and you can step into being empowered, and you can actually learn how to use your gifts to help other people. You can be who you want to be. You can be who you were meant to be. That's what I've got. So thank you guys so much. If you would like to book a session, you can book one on my Facebook business page, Shadow Work by April. I will be starting a new program October 1st. This is going to be a 3-month shadow work coaching program. If you would like more details, please send me a message. We can schedule a discovery call, and we can talk to each other and find out if it's something that you would be interested in, find out if you can handle me, find out if I can handle you, and just let you know. So, all right. Thank you guys. I appreciate it so much. I hope this information serves you well, as always. If you guys have any questions, leave it in the comments, send me a message. I love answering questions. If you guys have any ideas for videos, please let me know. All right. Thank you guys so much. Bye.